Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today I'm back with another Star video. It's a little bit different from what I usually do, at least if you're recently new here, because I haven't made a video like this in a long time. Now this type of video is where I ask a general question to our Discord, which you can go join. Link is down in the description. I talk on there, I'm fairly active. There's a lot of active people on there, so if you just want to talk and have a good time, link's down below. But I ask the general question and then they respond to it. Now in this case, the question is, what if Marco never met Star? But I have done other videos on different topics. You can go check them out. You'll have to scroll down on the channel a little bit. I wouldn't exactly recommend going to watch them because those videos back then weren't the greatest compared to how they are now. But if you're really interested, then you can go and check them out. And I have seen a lot of comments and things and people being like, hey, bring this series back. So here's another video. If you guys enjoy this series and want to see more, leave the like button. That lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. And just tell me down in the comment section down below. You can just say, hey, I like this type of video. Or you can just like recommend new topics, because I want to make more, but I need to have topics for people to suggest to. So if you have a topic that you'd like me to ask the Discord, then go ahead and comment that down below. I will be looking at the comments. But let's get on with this video. This first one is from Depressed Fool. At Aiden, if Star never met Marco, Star would be with another family on Earth, probably not living in Echo Creek. Marco, on the other hand, would be living in Echo Creek, still being a safe kid, and would have probably not had a chance with Jackie. Please put this in the video. Well, you're in the video. Congratulations. Now, I don't know how much I agree with this particular thing. To be fair, this isn't really anything. It's not like a theory. It's just a fun, hey, what if this happened instead? But, I mean, yeah, I guess this could have happened, but I still think Star would have ended up in Echo Creek. In my opinion, I would have liked to have seen Star just like come across with Marco every once in a while, but like obviously since Marco never met Star truly, they're not like best friends. So I mean, that's just how I would want to see it, but I enjoy hearing what you guys would like to see or what you think would happen. Now this next one is from Dog Dude. At Aiden, if Star never met Marco, then Marco would still have been a safe kid, and Star would have met some boy and scare the boy away with her magic, and Toffee would not have blackmailed Star to blow up the wand. Star would probably get sent to St. Oga's by her mom, but then Star would break out and start the Princess Rebel Force. And then she would never date Tom because they would fight at the Blood Moon Ball. Hannes would never go to the Monster Bash, so Meteor would never meet Eclipsa. And since Toffee would not get killed, Eclipsa would never be set free, which means Star would never learn that Eclipsa was not her grandma. Star would never learn to dip down, and Ludo would never get the wand. And Star would be a wild animal having parties in St. Oga's, and Tom would be a demon with anger problems, and Kelly would never get to break up with Dad. Thanks, Dog Dude, for your comment. It's okay to put periods after your sentences. There's not a rule saying that you can't put periods, but thanks for your suggestion, and let's move on to the next one. Now this next one is from End Tom. At Aiden, Marco's life would be boring, like he said to Star, but he might see her in action sometimes because she is the type of person that is hard not to notice. But if she came to Earth in another country, that would be a whole new story, which would be a bummer. Talking about real facts, Star would have troubles in her life only a person like Marco could fix, and Toffee would also have trouble finding bait to get to Star, or he could just use Ponyhead. Now I do agree with the second to last sentence there. Talking about real facts, Star would have troubles in her life that only Marco could fix. Now I completely agree with this. Marco was a huge help to Star. He accepted Star for who she was, eventually. I mean, he was a little bit scared in the first episode, but at the end of the first episode it was all good. But I feel like Marco was the perfect person for Star, and I'm glad that Marco and Star ended up becoming a family pretty much. Alright, thank you, and Tom. Now let's move on to the next one. Now this next one's from Evil Kermit. Marco's life would be a bit more normal, as he would still be known as the safe kid and he'd be closer to his friends, Ferguson and Alfonso. He'd also be crushing on Jackie still while not having Star to build up his confidence. He'd also be successful in his school year. He could have possibly ended up with Jana. Hashtag Kermit at Aiden. Thanks for your ideas. Now I do agree with that he'd be closer with Ferguson and Alfonso. You know, personally, I like those two characters. They're funny characters. I'm sad that they went away after the first season, but you know what? That's okay, because everyone pretty much went away after they went to Muni. So, it's okay though. Alright, moving on to the next one. Now this one is from Kitten USA. Now I'm assuming that the KTN is kitten, like an abbreviation for it, and then USA. Tell me how to pronounce it in the Discord. You may have already told me how to pronounce her name, but if you want me to get it right next time, tell me how to pronounce it. If Star never met Marco Diaz, he would be as bad as Alfonso and Ferguson. In fact, with how he was presented at the beginning of the series, he would have been much worse than them and had been on levels of Princess Ponyhead. Oh my gosh, I think that's taking it a little bit too far. Oh, that's kind of mean. I'm talking about Marco as a character. Star, however, would be soulmates with Tom Lucitor at the Blood Moon Ball. I don't know if I agree with Marco Diaz being as bad as Alfonso and Ferguson, because you have to keep in mind that he was still doing karate. I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe you do, and that's okay, because everyone can see different things and have their own opinions. So, with that out of the way, let's go on to the next one. Now, this next one is from Expert Copyright, who is also a donator. So, thank you so much for your donation. At Aiden, I know it's a bit late response, but I asked for this video anyways. If Marco never met Star, just to say the least, his wife would be censored. Let me list all the things Marco won't have. No girlfriend, still won't have a red belt, will be insecure. Even what Marco said, my life would be boring. He most likely will accept going to a janitor island if he still is offered it, since he has no life. Wow, that one is straight to the point and kind of heartless. Oh my gosh. Jeez, that was straight to the point. That was just hammering down on him. You weren't like, oh, Marco's gonna meet some other person. You were just like, oh no, you won't have this or that. Oh my gosh. Alright. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Now this next one is from Senpai. At Aiden, I wasn't gonna write anything, but okay, first of all, we would see a different ship, maybe even Tom Star, which is gross, but this is about Marco, not Star. So okay, he would still be called the safe kid at school, and would be boring as blank again. Dang, you guys are harsh. And everything would have stayed the same boring thing. And Skolnick wouldn't be a troll and die a human at the age she is meant. Nothing would happen in Marco's life. He would still hang out with Ferguson and Alfonso. Why do you guys say Ferguson and then Alfonso? I always say Alfonso and Ferguson. It rolls off the tongue better. So he would still like Jackie Lynn Thomas, who would have gotten with someone else on the dance, and Marco would stay boring and his two friends only. So Marco never goes on adventures and doesn't get his red belt. He dies a normal, boring life. Wow, you guys are just like, y'all are thinking of all the negatives. You aren't like, oh hey, Marco might end up doing this. Like, oh, he will win the lottery, and then he will fly into a portal and then end up meeting Star eventually. I don't know, you guys are all dark. I don't get it. Also, for this one, again, it's okay to put periods. It makes it easier to read. Just for me, I like having periods because it definitely makes it easier to read, and it's like correct formatting and stuff. So if you could do me a favor and put in some periods there, that'd be nice. Alright, so this last one is from Sonia. At Aiden, if Star never met Marco, then she would probably be with another family on Earth, like some other safe kid. Now, just to let you guys know, this was meant for Marco. Now I know later on in this response, she does get to Marco, but it is meant to only be Marco, and I made that specifically so that we could do a what if Star never met Marco, so we would be talking more about Star versus Marco. Not Star versus Marco, I'm talking about like Star instead of Marco, like talking about them. Also, Starco wouldn't even be a thing, sadly. Marco would probably have stayed the safe kid he is, maybe even never dated Jackie because Star is the one who encouraged him to say hi to her. He would still be at his home and would never have even gone to Muni. Marco Jr. might have never been a thing because his parents wouldn't feel lonely. Ooh, thinking about the future there, I like it. Like, I mean, that's kind of like a dark and lonely thing too. Man, you guys really are just thinking about like, oh hey, Marco wouldn't have this. Why aren't you guys talking about like, oh yeah, Marco would get to do what he wants instead of having to like watch Star and stuff? Like, you gotta give Marco some credit here. You can't just be like, oh no, Marco's gonna die in normal life. No, you gotta be nice. I'm not trying to hate on anyone's response or anything, but it's like, you guys are so dark, okay? I want you guys, okay, here's your homework for the next one, alright? You gotta be creative and you gotta think of, hey, let's go outside of the show a little bit. Let's think of things that aren't canon. Like, Marco is going to win the lottery. If he wasn't with Star, Marco would win the lottery, he would move to LA, he would make his own cartoon, and he would name it I Miss Star, even though Star isn't a thing because he never met her. Just something like that. Like, get a little creative with it, alright? And I'm a little bit surprised because I didn't see a Morpher response. Usually Morpher responds to things like this. I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you guys really did enjoy it, then you can leave a like and subscribe for more content. We are almost at 13,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the support. I am back from my trip, so back to videos. I'm leaving again for another trip in like 2 weeks. So I will be gone again. Hopefully it's not as long as the week trip that I took this time. But yeah, I'm excited to be making videos again, and I will keep you guys updated on all the news that comes out in the future. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
It's filthy.